Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, the world's greatest redneck, and today we're going to work on making a larger knurling tool. Now this was one I made from plans on Tom's Techniques, and it's a good knurling tool, works great for me, but it's limited to about 3/4 of an inch diameter material that I can knurl with it. So I want one that'll knurl up to about 2 inches. That's going to be a great deal of difference between this one and that one. And I thought about the scissors type, you know, that they can adjust quite a lot. And then I thought about this, and I thought, well, I'm going to give this another try to be a much larger diameter knurler. And if it doesn't work out, then we'll make some of the scissors type. They're both good. Alright, so let's take a look at the situation. So that particular project stopped before it gets started. I took this little guy, pulled the rotors out, took a Woodruff key cutter and went back in there and made room for the cutters so I could sink it further back in. I've got it all the way back to that axle there now, and it's 900 and something thousandths, so that's almost a whole 1/4 of an inch more than it could do before. So having done that, I think that I'll make a knurling tool with a whole different design. I think I'll make the scissors type. Well, not scissors type, but a clamp type where the two pieces are, you know, coming together like that. So let's try and round up the tools and the materials and get on with it. Look at that. That brown cabinet there doesn't have any wheels on it. It's full of heavy things, and it's right under the air conditioner, right in the way. So I have something from Horror Fright. I got that little furniture dolly. They said it'll handle 1,000 pounds, which is probably more than what's in this box, and probably more than what it can really handle. But we're going to find out. I'm going to clean this thing out, pick it up, set it on some wheels, and see where we go from there. Alright, I got all the drawers out, some of the contents in and half of them the contents out because they were just too darn heavy. And I've set it up on top of those wheels. So now basically all I've got to do is go inside there and screw it down to the wheels so it can't come off. So I'll go find the right screws. The back of it's got some slots in it already, so I can put washers on screws and tighten that end down. Alright, I think you can see back there in the back the slots that I'm going to put the screws through. You can see the carpet of that furniture dolly through the slots, so I know I'm in a good place to put it. And I think one on each side should do it. A screw with some washers on it so it'll hang on to the base. Alright, so using the best redneck engineering, I fastened the back end down with washers. Come right in on it there. Okay, and I also fastened down the front end with washers. Well, nuts under the screw so that the unthreaded part wouldn't go into the wood. And there you are. It's not going to slip. That left me breathing heavy, all that lifting, but you can see what was all around and under it. But there's my goal. That's what I'm headed for. It's spring and sprung sometime back, and I still haven't cleaned all the crud out of there. So that's today's job, and then I'll put the floor clean, and then I'll put everything back together. The front panel parts have been cleaned up real well. I tried to get the little instrument panel out of there, but after taking the screws out, it still didn't want to move. I was afraid I'd break it, so it got washed along with everything else. So I'm going to let it sit there until tomorrow, drying out, just in case it got water in it. I've a lot of times washed out electronic things that got battery acid in them and things, and if you dry it out good so that it doesn't have any short circuits, well, it runs just fine later. So that's what we're going to hope for here. was unbelievable how much crud was in those fins there. I washed them with Windex. The front pen I used the Super Clean on, and it really cleaned it up good. I'm not sure how strong the Super Clean is on aluminum, so I didn't spray it up in there. I did that with Windex and a bottle of water. It looks clean now. Okay, I washed it all really good, and instead of being all black now, it's actually another color. And I've got the front going back on. Now, I was asked a question one time by a lady when I installed this, how do you get the front off? Well, looking at it, I said, well, you take these 4 screws out on each side here and you take it off. Well, I had never taken it off, so I didn't necessarily understand her actual question. But once you take those screws out, you've still got to pry the little thing off of the it's not easy. You got to pull like the devil to get it, all the little snaps to let go. Those screws are just along with all the little plastic snaps that are holding it. I didn't understand the question, but she dressed me down properly, so I guess I got my punishment. But what I'm tickled with, the thing's still working even after me washing it, so there you go. We'll put the rest of it on. Now you're going to show it before and after, but that looks a lot better, and the little clean filter light is off finally, so that'll probably last that away for a month or so. I had no idea why that brown cabinet didn't have wheels on it, but now it does. And I'm experimenting. Excuse the little bit of blood there on my lip. I cut myself shaving. Anyway, where was I? I'm experimenting with a new format for my videos. You notice there wasn't any little intro video, and because I looked at the analytics and it looked like the intro started and boom, by the time it was over I'd already lost 10% of the viewers. That's not encouraging. So we're trying a lot of new things, a lot of new subject matter, and just a general new way of doing stuff. Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.